My mental health tip for you today is on relationships, and it's a straightforward tip. Learn to separate relational problems from personal problems. Learn to distinguish what a relationship problem is from what a personal problem is. Because one of the reasons why we struggle to find solutions to relationship problems is because we don't know how to label them accurately, we don't know how to categorize them clearly. We call relationship problems personal, and we call personal problems relationship problems. So learn to distinguish relationship problems from personal problems. And I'll give an example to illustrate. But first of all, understanding a relationship. You probably know this, but you're not aware of it. A relationship is made up of two people, and here we're looking at any relationship dynamic. It could be personal or professional, romantic or non-romantic. So two people come into a relationship, let's say me and you. I bring parts of myself into this relationship that you might find easy to be around, you might welcome. I also bring parts of myself that you might not welcome. And typically, the parts of myself that you find difficult to be around are usually the source of conflict in many relationships, if not all relationships. For example, I like loud music. We're in the same space. You don't like loud music. How do I get what I want without inconveniencing what you want, which is quiet and silence? Either we reach a compromise or we don't. So that's a source of conflict. We're going to disagree before we get to that compromise or don't get to that compromise. And you want to be aware of this when you're in a relationship with somebody. There are parts of them that you're comfortable with, and there are parts of them that you are not going to be comfortable with. And so conflict is not very far in relationships. It's inevitable. It's part of the relationship. Now, if me and you are in a relationship, let's say we've been in a relationship for 3 years, now this one is to try and illustrate how to distinguish relational problems from personal problems. We've been in a relationship together for 3 years, and in those 3 years, I have been feeling increasingly disappointed in you because you're not picking my calls, you're not responding to my text messages, you plan to do something with me and then you don't show up. You've just been letting me down, continuously. And I've tolerated it for a while, but now I feel like I can't tolerate it anymore. So I want to bring it up for conversation. And so I come to you and I tell you about it, and I try as much as possible not to be judgmental or accusatory. But you dismiss what I'm trying to tell you. You discount my emotional expression. I think there's a problem that's affecting the relationship, but you are making me think that I'm making a big deal out of it. You're making it a me problem. Now, in scenario one, because I'm confident in what I'm experiencing, because I'm able to validate my emotions, what I'm feeling, then you discounting my emotions is not going to affect my emotions. It's going to affect what I now think about the relationship with you. Because I'm thinking, scenario one, that you don't care how your actions are disappointing me. Consequently, you don't care about the relationship you're having with me. You don't care about the quality of my emotions and how you've affected them. Consequently, you don't care about the quality of this relationship that we're in. So you discounting my feelings doesn't make me discount my own feelings, because I'm able to validate my emotional experiences. And so the problem is straightforward. It's a relationship problem, because I'm learning that you don't care about the relationship. What can I do next, or what should I do next? Do I stay in this relationship where you don't care, or do I wait and hope you might change? But I'm accurately labeling the problem. That's the problem, that you don't care how I feel, which means you don't care about how this relationship is. Now, scenario two, the person, when you dismiss what I'm telling you, that you're disappointing me, I start feeling like I shouldn't have brought it up. I start feeling bad and uncomfortable. Maybe you're right. Maybe I'm making a big deal out of it. Maybe I shouldn't be disappointed. Maybe I should be able to deal with it. I shouldn't be expressing it. And so, because you're invalidating my emotional experience, I'm easily influenced by that because I lack the capacity to validate my own experiences. And that speaks to a personal problem. And if I'm careful, I would be able to observe that it's a pattern. It's not just this relationship that I don't validate my emotional experiences in, it's in all other relationships I'm in. So I constantly complain that other people are hurting my feelings, that other people are making me feel that way. But then I'm also doubting if I should actually be feeling this way. So now the conversation turns from being a relationship problem where you are dismissing my feelings to me wondering if I should have these feelings at all. And so over time, I might be resentful and start saying, you're gaslighting me, you're being a narcissist, when really you're not. You've simply dismissed my emotions. Yes, dismissing emotions could be characteristic of a narcissistic personality, but not completely. Here, the problem is a personal problem. I need to start working on my conviction. I need to start working on how to validate my emotional experiences. I need to be more confident in myself. I need to have more self-esteem. This is work I need to do on my own because it is affecting all other relationships I get into. And that's very important because the way that the first scenario is going to deal with the problem is very different from the way the second scenario is going to deal with the problem. But if you don't know the difference, if you're not able to categorize, is this a relationship problem? Is this a me problem? Then you're not going to find solutions for it. Either you're going to keep tolerating nonsense, either you're going to make excuses for the other person so that you're able to tolerate it. You're just going to keep staying in this cycle of being mistreated because you don't know how to categorize a relationship problem from a personal problem. And the second one will then need to work on themselves. They might decide to leave the relationship or stay, but they need to work on themselves before they go into another relationship where they're going to be treated in the same manner and continue repeating the pattern. But the other one is already confident in their own emotional experiences. I am disappointed. I know that. I've seen that. I've experienced it. It's my reality. You can't change it for me. You can't make me. You dismissing it is not going to affect that I've actually felt it. And so if they decide to leave the relationship, they're going to go into another one where they might maybe find someone who's more receptive, more able to listen, more able to engage, more caring about the quality of the relationship and consequently the quality of the emotions of the person they're in a relationship with. So that's my mental health tip for you today. Start learning to distinguish relational problems or relationship problems from personal problems. And try as much as possible, as clearly as you can, to accurately label or categorize these problems in the right categories for you to be able to find solutions for them that are effective.